It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Geno Jones Showtime. Hey, listen, I hope you had a great weekend. The Geno Jones Show. I guess you kind of figured out, hey, this guy right here, he must be Geno, all right? Just fresh out of the barber chair. Shout out to the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, Markel Bailey, the CEO and owner of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek. Check him out on Instagram. Kel be cutting up because as you can see, Kel be cutting his ass off. But it's Kel be cutting up, not Kel be cutting his ass off. Should have. Kel, that should have been your Instagram handle, but it's Kel be cutting up. KELBECUTTINUP. All right. Well, I got a guest. I'm so excited. My guest, she is an owner, a black woman-owned trucking company, and she is doing some great things in the community. We're going to tell you about this trucking expo and the scholarships that she's going to be giving away. And listen, this is a great career for not just men, all right? And not just for white men, not just for black men. Black women can also get in this business and make a lot of money. You could own your own transportation company like my guest. But first, let me start off. Let me do some birthdays. By the way, you know I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Shout out to everybody that is watching me in real time live right now. And if you missed it, if you're watching me at a later time, maybe later tonight or early Tuesday morning, whenever you're watching, I got nothing but love for you. So August 29th, all right, my Virgos, shout out to my Virgos celebrating birthdays. Happy birthday to R&B singer, songwriter, producer, bad boy, Mario Winans. I believe a native of South Carolina, right here where I'm at. Mario Winans is 48 today. Also 48 today, AJ Calloway, a.k.a. AJ. Remember AJ and Free from BET's 106 in Park, and then he was on an entertainment news show called Extra. AJ Calloway, he is 48 today. Also celebrating a birthday, she is 58. Pebbles, Miss Perry Reed. Remember Pebbles back in the day? Girlfriend, dun, dun, dun. You know he really treat you so bad. She sounded a little bit. So she did Girlfriend and Mercedes Boy. Do you want to ride in my Mercedes? Go ahead, Pebble, do your thing. Pebbles, and then she was the controversial manager of TLC. And, Google it. Google Pebbles TLC lawsuit, because they say Pebbles kept all the money and then Pebbles counted. Anyway, just Google that. Pebbles is 58 today. And also shout out to one of my coworkers, legendary, iconic Hall of Famer, DJ D Nice, celebrating a birthday today. He comes on after me on Star 99.7. I come on at 10 in the morning until 3, and at 3 o'clock, DJ D Nice comes on. He is truly my brother by another mother. Also, shout out to Mama D Nice, Mama McFadden. We're constantly lifting you up in prayer. I hear you are doing great. So prayers work, because we definitely have put you on the prayer list. So we're just glad to hear you doing great. So I want to shout out Mama McFadden. And happy birthday, DJ D Nice. Celebrate. I believe he's legal today, 21 or 22. Buy his ass a drink on me. All right, I owe him. I got to get him. He really in 20, 21, 22, maybe times 2. But he's celebrating a birthday today. Shout out to Mr. Hollywood. He was a guest on my show, so he's an entrepreneur, business owner. He's got the Lux Mobile Cigar Bar, and he's got his own cigar lounge out in Monk's Corner. And he is a Southern Soul recording artist, soon to be a Southern Soul star. I'm going to bring him back on the show. He was on the show about a month, about 7, 8 weeks ago. Anyway, Mr. Hollywood is celebrating a birthday. Go ahead, Virgo. I don't know. I guess he's legal today also. And the GOAT of GOATs, the GOAT of GOATs, the greatest of all time, Michael Joseph Jackson was born on this day in 1958. Yes, Michael Jackson, the king of pop, the king of all music, the king of entertainment, was born on this day. He would have been he would have been 64 today. Of course, you know he died tragically on June 25th, way back in 2009. Man, can you believe it's been that long? 12 years. Michael Jackson has been gone. No, 13, 90, yeah, 12 years. 2009, 93 is 12. 12 years. So rest in peace, power in paradise. Happy heavenly birthday to one Michael Jackson. All right, let me get into this monologue so I can bring my guest on. So in case you hadn't heard, since we are here in the state of South Carolina, the Geno Jones Show comes to you, the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. And one of the senators from the state, the senior senator, as they call him, Senator Linsey Graham, says if Donald Trump is indicted or charged with crimes for having classified, top secret, stolen documents in his Florida home, that resort and club Mar-a-Lago, he said there will be, now I'm quoting, Linsey Graham says there will be riots. Let me say that again. Senator Linsey Graham says there are going to be riots in the streets if Trump is indicted. Like the violent insurrection, the violent attempted coup, January 6, 2021, Linsey Graham. Right after that, when you said you were done with Trump, no more, you couldn't deal with him, and now all of a sudden you're kissing his ass again, really? So is that a threat, Linsey Graham? So are you threatening? Are you predicting? Is that a call? Is that a call to the wild, to the criminal element, like the criminal element we saw on January 6th? Because we got you on video. You said they're going to be. You didn't say I think. You didn't say I might. There was a declarative. I remember my English teacher teaching me about something called declarative statements. That was a declarative statement. You said there will be, not there might be, there may be, there good chance. You said there will be riots in the streets if the man I call Orange Hitler is indicted. Okay. I hope the U.S. Justice Department, Attorney General Merrick Garland, you got him on tape. Sounds like you are inciting a riot, or you are inciting riots. So if there are riots in the streets, those rioters should be locked their asses up. They were talking about locking up Hillary Clinton. Lock her up. Well, I say lock they asses up, lock them up, and convict them to the fullest extent of the law. And I guarantee you, I'm sure that Merrick Garland and the Justice Department will convict, and they will indict and attempt to convict each and every rioter that decides to riot for a dude who don't give a damn about. And let me just say this, for all of you all who are going to riot in the streets, you do know that this man don't give a damn about you. You do know that, right? Now, I'm just going to say this because it's my show, even though I got a guest. It's no reflection on her. But you do know, I've said this before, you do know he don't give a shit about you. All these people that's been convicted that he called to the Capitol, to storm the Capitol on January 6, 2021, all that, well, go ahead, I'll pay your legal fee. He don't pay his own legal fees. The Republican Party, the people that donate money to the Republican Party are paying all of his legal fees. He don't pay his bills. You don't believe me? Just Google all the vendors and people that he has done business with or that he has hired that has done work for him and his business that he has not paid. That is public record. So if you think this dude is going to try to save your ass, he's worried about saving his ass. So you can be a fool and riot if you want to. But guess what? You will go to jail and you will be convicted or indicted a lot sooner than he will. So have at it. Talk to some of these folks that's serving time right now for storming the Capitol on January 6th. All right? I am going to clean this part up because there's a saying in the streets, say, F around and find out. So I'm going to paraphrase the first word. You can fool around and find out if you want to. The other words, that first word that I really couldn't say, I could, but I'm not. It rhymes with duck, but it starts with a F. So, fool around and find out. F around and find out if you want to. Messing around, you will wind up in jail, indicted and convicted for riding for a man who don't give a damn about you. Let me bring on my guest. My guest, I'm so excited to bring her on today. She's the owner of CM Transportation. She is putting on the Charleston Truck Expo, September 17th at the Ladson Fairgrounds here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area. And she has some great news about a scholarship. It's not just a scholarship, but multiple scholarships that she's going to be awarding, I believe, at the expo. And she's going to tell you all about it. And I don't know if she may need a host or MC for this expo, and I'm sure she knows because she knows me. But just in case, I'm not the king of MCs. As my shameless plug and pitch on camera, there she is, ladies and gentlemen, the owner of CM Transportation, Carissa Carter. Hello, Carissa. How are you?
I'm great, Geno. Thank you very much. Thank you so much for having me. How are you this evening?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for being patient and sitting through my monologue. But I am so excited to have you on. So we're going to talk about this expo, this Charleston Truck Expo coming up very soon on September 17th. And I want to talk about the scholarships that you're going to be awarding. I'm really excited about that because everybody that knows me, especially here, I've always made education and still doing education a priority, and you're doing the same. But let's talk about, I want you to tell your story and share it with my viewers. I know it's an inspirational story because I don't know. As a matter of fact, I don't know too many sisters that own a I don't know too many black folks, period, that own a transportation company. So you've had to deal with racism and bias and sexism and misogyny. And in spite of that, you have succeeded. So, man, what's been your secret sauce? Tell us your story.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, before I say that, I do want to let you know that the host position is filled for the expo. I'm gonna host, so I don't know if I can hold a candle to the king, but I sure am gonna try.
Well, you're
So
going
I'm
to be the
actually
queen,
hosting
not
those.
the queen, the
I can be
queen.
clear. There might be a few before me, but I'm gonna give it a go because, like you said, I do have a story to tell, and I appreciate your platform to voice exactly what you said. Um, I always tell people that I've never chose trucking. Trucking kind of chose me. Like, what kid grows up in high school and says, I want to own a trucking company or I want to own a logistics company. You don't hear that very often, right?
You're
When I was in high school, I was going to be the first Black woman president, or I was going to be a lawyer, like on Law and Order. But trucking is actually what was purposed in my life for exactly what you said. I think instead of being a teacher in the classroom, and actually instead of having young students as pupils, whatever business that I was in when I was working, I always wanted the people that I was working with to.
I think we lost your audio. I don't know if your mute button might have fell off. I don't know if you can hear me. I can't hear you now. I don't know. Maybe your mute button must have come on somehow. Carissa, can you hear me? I can't hear you. Did you hit your mute button by mistake? We don't know what happened.
I'm
There
sorry
you
about
go.
that.
Okay.
There it goes. There it goes. And I do apologize. I probably should have set this up another way because my
Oh,
phone
you're
is always
fine. That's
busy.
okay.
Okay. I was saying that you are absolutely right. Even though trucking chose me, one of the things that has always been heavy with me, I think that as I was brought up as a little girl, I always wanted to know more. I always wanted to know how something worked, not just how to operate it. So at CM Transportation, we like to push the ticket. Or I like to push the ticket. I don't know what they say behind my back, but I like to push the ticket like one stop shopping. If you call a company, I hate being transferred 5 times, So one stop shopping, you answer the phone. And I want my payroll person to know how dispatch works. I want my dispatch person to know what's important with the safety department because that's what makes the company flow together. And I believe that that's kind of been the key to success. Always I always believed in keeping everybody involved with all of the departments. And so that's actually another reason that the expo has kind of been like my baby. I couldn't figure out the way to birth it that was actually going to be the CM Trans way, the Carissa way. I've seen a lot of conferences. You get speakers that come around and people sign up and they sit in a classroom and they take notes. Um, but I don't think that that's really my spin. So I think my spin is making people, I like to see people happy. I'm a personable person. I like to have a good time. I'm a foodie. I like to eat. So if I could get everybody together and we can have a good time and I can feed you, then I think that that would be a successful event. So instead of having people falling asleep in boring classroom settings, that's how the Truck Expo come about. I wanted the vendors to be there so we could provide you with knowledge of our industry, but not only knowledge of our industry, what does the community need? The community needs information. As a small business owner that started 11 years ago, I could Google how to apply for my EIN, but there's so much more that comes with owning a small business than just having an employee identification number. I kind of learned it the hard way. I dusted myself off and, wiped off my knees and got up and tried again. I combined with a group of women in business and with the information that we share among each other as small business owners. I mean, people go to college and pay for it, but just experience is a great teacher. So I thought if I could put all of this knowledge together, whether it was trucking related or small business related, or entering into the trucking industry, let me get all of these people together so that the community can come out and ask the questions. We'll be sitting there, like mentoring sessions are $100 an hour, but you can stop by a table and ask a question or two and get an answer just with the general admission price of $25. So that is definitely how it came about. Um, and it's exciting for me because I'm a 23-year veteran in this game.
Wow.
And you and I spoke earlier, and I told you that I've always worked in my business. In my business, my phone is going to ring tonight because I still dispatch in my business. Some may call me a micromanager, but I also believe in being in touch with my drivers, in touch with my staff, in touch with the customers, and that's something else that I believe that makes it personal. Relationships are very big in trucking, and that's one of the things that I'll be stressing at this at this expo. These relationships are a foundation to your business. So I'm also putting multiple relationships together. That's my hope. Somebody asked me if for the monetary gain, and it really wasn't about a monetary gain at all. It was I have so many people that are saying, "How did you do this? How do I do this? Can I do this? What does it take to do this?" That I thought, maybe if I could just create the platform for them to not only be able to get in touch with me, but to get in touch with other people in our industry, that may help establish some businesses. It may help strengthen some already established businesses. So I'm excited about that.
What's the one piece of information you could share, if you don't mind sharing with the viewers, especially for our community, people that look like us, but especially black women, because like I said, I've met a black. It's not. I don't know too many black people. Period. Owning a transportation company. I mean, you see these trucks all the time, and I all this time I've known some lady truck drivers, as they call my show. Said, Geno, the lady truck drivers, we listen and we watch your TV show. But what's the one piece of advice that you would give somebody that's watching now that says, I'd like to do that. Um, I would like to do what Carissa's doing. And like I said, I could imagine that the challenge of being black and succeeding in in the corporate world, or just as an entrepreneur, is one thing, but being black and a woman, because you have to deal with racism, sexism, and misogyny. But you've slayed all those dragons. So what's the one piece of advice that you would give to somebody watching who wants to start a trucking company and be the next CM Transportation?
That's a good question, Gino. And I think that something that I always come back to is to study your craft, to master your craft. And whether it's in trucking or anything else, we already started like they just like Black men have two strikes against them entering into corporate America. We have two strikes against us as well. So it doesn't matter if you're going into trucking or if you're going into banking, we're already the third or fourth man on the totem pole. Yeah. So I believe that what another key to my success, because I would like to stress that I can say that I've been successful to be able to hold down my own logistics company for 10 years, to be in a transportation company for 10, this will be my 11th year, that, I'm making it, and I'm making it okay. And I do believe that it is because I'm able to provide those customers with the best service possible. The way that I'm able to provide the best service possible is because I know the ins and outs of the industry. So for anybody that's looking into getting into transportation and logistics because they want, like for the dollar, all small businesses have to be established with a why. My why was the same thing that we're all talking about: educating, breaking generational curses. I have three beautiful children, young adults now. And as a matter of fact, our daughters are the same age. I think just a few months apart, maybe. Our youngest daughters are used to play together at birthday parties.
Yes.
So those generational curses, without me having a college degree, becoming a Black woman in working America and trying to help my husband support our family, I found my niche and I found something that I was good at. And like I said, I'm a people person, and I believe that, my purpose in life is to help and is to teach. So once I entered into the industry, I'm going to say that I was okay with playing the back, so to speak. So I sat back and I made things work. I made things work to the tune of like 6 different companies that I managed that probably crossed over to the $5 to $10 million mark. The last company that I was with, before I opened my own terminal, I hung a $10 million plaque on the wall, and I got White Diamonds perfume for my Christmas present. Not even a Christmas bonus. Had I been a white man, would I have been offered a Christmas bonus? Or even maybe even a nicer Christmas. Maybe I could have got a steak dinner from Hall's Chop House or something. And I think like in moments like that, it makes you realize that you do have 2 strikes against you. Yeah. I did realize the same company was quoting, they were doing a bid on a Fortune 500 account that I managed. But what my suggestions when it came to bidding for this contract, they were bypassed and they were overlooked. They were not awarded the contract. And sometimes I think it's kind of like, like you said, I can show you better than I can tell you. Yes. One of those, you are given the opportunities in this industry where your work ethic and your knowledge pays off, because sometimes you may have to take the back seat before you're allowed to come to the front of the bus. So once I was missed, from that Fortune 500 company, they sought me out. We need her. Where is she? And now we're talking about, $1 billion industry for them. And they thought it not robbery to find me because they felt like I was a key to their success. It didn't matter that I was a Black woman. It didn't matter that I was in Charleston, South Carolina, but they said, hey, you know your stuff, and we need that. And so by mastering my craft, I was able to sit at those tables. Last year, I believe that it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, the South Carolina State Port invited the 10 trunking companies that had the most interchanges at their terminals. And when I got the email, I was like, did y'all mean to send this to me? Like, y'all are telling me to come have a roundtable at the port. And as you said, I was the only Black woman at that roundtable. And I had to be recognized because the numbers didn't lie. Now, there are still times that I'm sure that I have been overlooked and bypassed. I'm sure that there are some tables that I have not been invited to. But I believe that because of my work ethic and because the work that speaks for itself, the policies and procedures that I put in place for my staff, that it has to be recognized. When it comes to saving companies, millions of dollars, somebody's going to say, I don't care if it's a man, a woman, I don't care if it's a goat, but we need them. I need her, and I need her back. And since then, that same company that I'm referring to has locked me into 3 contracts. So for the past almost 20 years, I've been like one of their dedicated carriers, and I've been blessed. But what I didn't know, I went and learned. What
Wow.
I did know, I believed in sharing with. I share with my drivers, I share with my customers. So I don't keep that information in so that we can all be successful. So to anybody out there who is looking to break into the transportation industry, or even just to work for yourself, I mean, sometimes once you master your craft, you got to let that light shine, and you've got to let them know, hey, I know my stuff. Just in case you're wondering. I used to say, hey, and by the way, you can do this and it'll save you this. And some people keep that information in. I believe in sharing it, and I believe that that's what's helped me get as far as I have.
And the beautiful thing is, you said you may not have been invited to some tables, but you said to hell with it. I'm building my own table.
That's right. That's right. Not
Right.
all the time. And when I say, you ask me about my story, like, I am a country girl from Kentucky. Okay, we didn't have ports, we didn't have oceans. I can't even. Maybe my senior year in high school might have been the first time that I even seen the ocean.
Wow.
Um, so to move to Charleston, and it was like I said, the wow of the industry. I found my niche, but my niche was with people. My niche were treating the truck drivers and the trucking companies the same way that I wanted to be treated, talking to them with respect, respecting the companies that I worked for, interjecting in the defense of the trucking companies, because now I have the corporate office and I have the trucking company, and I'm the liaison in between. And that's when I started. I'm back in 2000 at OOCL with the steamship lines. And, I'm empathetic to both sides. And so it didn't matter that, my first pet was a pig named Gertrude. And I had no idea what the South Carolina State Port was. But once I got down here and I was a personable person and I mastered my craft, then I believe that I was like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And I can make how much money doing it? Okay.
I love it. I
Yeah.
got a couple minutes, so before I lose your live shot, I want you to talk
Yeah.
about the scholarships and anybody that, if you are a trucker, if you want to get in the industry, or if you do business with in this industry, this expo is going to be amazing. So give everybody the information where they can go register or purchase tickets and talk about the like to talk about the scholarship program. That's so key with the. We got about a couple
Yes.
2 minutes left.
Okay. So the scholarship is a memorial scholarship. It's the Joseph H. Wright Junior Scholarship. We're actually awarding three $500 scholarships to any people that are enrolled in CDL schools. In our area, we have contacts with Miller Mott, Trident Technical, Palmetto Truck Driver Training. But if you are enrolled in one of these schools and you need financial assistance, we would like to let you know that there's somebody out here rooting for you, cheering for you, that says, hey, keep fighting. We're going to help you. Three $500 scholarships to be awarded at the expo on Saturday, September the 17th at the Exchange Park in Latson is where we'll be. I want to thank our sponsors, Excel Realty, Cowan Intermodal Group, which is my corporate office out of Baltimore, Maryland, will be traveling down, and CLC, which is a leasing company. So we're going to have financial literacy out there. We're going to have all kinds of insurance agents. We're going to have food. We're going to have fun. So whether if you're in trucking, bring your family. It'll be informative for your wife, your family to know exactly what it is that we do. We can answer questions. We're going to have a DJ. So we might get a Cupid shuffle in at some time. But I do want to stress that please get your applications in. If you know somebody that's going to CDL school or interested in getting their CDL, you can reach us at the charlestontruckexpo.com, www.charlestontruckexpo.com. Tickets are on sale at Eventbrite as well. We have a $25 general admission ticket, and we have a $50 professional package that includes a t-shirt and a chance to at a raffle, with the grand prize being a set of truck tires. And for the truck drivers, they know that may cost up to $6,000 or $7,000.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Wow. So, Carissa, before I let you go, so especially young people that's watching, or maybe people that want to change a career, what's the average salary for a truck driver right now?
And just as I mentioned about perfecting your craft, I have one guy who likes to think that he is the Cowan, he's the king of Cowan. And I would say that he's a W-9 employee. So they are business owners. A lot of truck drivers that don't work for companies are small business owners. And I would say that his 1099 last year was probably $250,000 before deductions. So he doesn't mind riding.
Okay, so if you like to drive, you like to be on the road, college isn't your thing, or maybe college is your thing, or maybe you're in college and you ain't trying to, even though you got the $10,000 thanks to President Biden knocked off the student loan, but if you're not trying to run up tens of thousands of dollars of student debt, this might be the career for you.
You want to be a small business owner. You don't want to punch in and out. You can set your own hours. You can say yes or no. And they take it out of vocational schools, but we're still here. We keep the world moving.
Carissa Carter, owner of CM Transportation, the Charleston Transportation. Actually, it's the Charleston Truck Expo, September 17th. That's a Saturday, right?
Saturday the 17th, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
At the Ladson Fairgrounds, out in Ladson, the Exchange Park. Once again, you got all the information. If you would like, Carissa, I'd love to have you come back the Thursday, so that would be the 15th. The Thursday before the expo, you could just kind of give everybody just one, last call. Come on, the expo's a couple days away. You may have some new information that you could share with the viewers. If you have the time, I'd love to have you come back and talk about the expo.
I would love to come back, Geno. We can announce our speakers. We can announce our vendors. That would be great. All right. I appreciate it.
So I booked you live on camera. That's right. Okay. So September 15th, my guest, Carissa Carter. We're going to run it back, as they say in the hood. We're going to run it back. Right. Once again, thank you. Can people follow you or your company on social media before we get out of here? You want to give us that information?
Yes, sir. On Facebook, you can find us at CM Transportation. The website is cmtransportationllc.net. We also have a page on Facebook for the expo, Charleston Truck Expo, on Facebook and on Instagram at charlestontruckexpo.com.
Thank you, Carissa. This conversation is it's inspiring. It's inspiring for me. It's inspiring for young men and young women, but especially for young girls to see somebody that looks like them. They say, "Wow, she did it. I can do it too." Because young women, especially young Black women, may have never thought about, "Wow, I can make that kind of money." She saw somebody make $245,000-$50,000. I don't have to go to college. Okay.
That's what God has for you is for you. So let's go get it.
Man, that part right there. Say that part. Preach, Carissa. Carissa Carter.
For you. Let's go get it. Thank you, Geno.
We'll see you. We're gonna run it back. We'll see you back here on the show September 15th to give us all the final details about the expo.
Sounds great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Carissa. All right.
Bye-bye.
Amazing. That's amazing. See, there's so many ways. Oh my God, there's so many ways to make money in this industry, or just in the world. And that message is from our young people, because college is not for everybody, and I get it. Or maybe you just want to change careers. You want to be your own boss, set your own hours. like she said, you like to drive? Okay. You can make a lot of money doing that. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Show, the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles. Please, you and everybody you know and don't know, everybody you like, that you love, that you just kind of okay with, folks you can't stand, you hate, strangers, aliens, I don't give a damn, tell them all. The best, the biggest, and the baddest in the business, the Geno Jones Show. Please subscribe to my channel. Share, like, and binge watch this and every episode. Shout out to Allie Jones, the official drip director, as I call her, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. She's on Instagram. It's L like Lexi, X like extra, dot, N like Nancy, C like Charlie, L like Larry, underscore. LX.NCL underscore. Shout out to everybody watching. My number one fan, my executive producer, my mother. I love you, mother. Brewmaster Dre, I appreciate you watching. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be tomorrow, Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. My guest, one of my political contributors, one of the regular contributors to the Geno Jones Show, A.J. Davis. Tomorrow it's going to be election day somewhere as we count down to November 8th. And once again, I'm going to tell you why you need to vote. So if you like that $10,000 knocked off the student loan debt, or if you want to defend this democracy, because you got senators like Lindsey Graham saying that there's going to be riots in the street if Trump is convicted for committing a crime. Like we're supposed to give him a pass? It's like, oh, well, no, he can commit a crime because that's, no. We ain't doing that. So we'll talk about that tomorrow in full. I leave you, as always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Thanks for watching, everybody. Go back and binge watch. If you missed some of it, go back and binge watch this and every episode. Remember, subscribe to the channel. Everybody you know and don't know. Subscribe, share, like, binge watch the Geno Jones Show.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.